The aspiration for our organization is to change the way oral health care is delivered in the United States. Our hope, though, is that we're going to create an enduring organization. So cultivating leadership is fundamental to our overall goal of creating a company that's built to last.
I really want to unleash and unlock the potential of all of my employees so that they can become problem solvers every single day.
I think I lacked the tools and the frameworks for thinking about how to communicate at a level below the surface line. The McKinsey program here really gets to, in an analytically rigorous way, some of the tools and frameworks that we can use to get to the softer elements of corporate performance. And that's been really meaningful for me.
Imagine the picture of a door and you haven't had the key to open the door. And in this leadership forum I found the key, I opened the door, and I discovered something about me which I was looking for the last 40 years.
I found what my strengths were, and as well as my weaknesses, what was going on underneath, so that self-awareness has really made me a better leader.
It is working at your mindsets and not just at some superficial skill building. The exercises that you do during the course of this workshop make you experience it in a very visceral manner, in a very personal manner.
I would have historically, prior to the program, addressed most challenges as technical challenges, do a root cause analysis, what's the problem, let's fix it and move on. Now I'm taking more an adaptive approach.
It connects you with who you are, your values, your authenticity, and it really brings out the best of who you can be.
We have this concept of mini board, where people work in a smaller cell every morning. They meet and they coach each other. They work through their leadership challenge together, their leadership mandate. They realize they have a lot in common. And they realize the capacity to develop a very deep, rich, meaningful connection in a way they hadn't experienced before, which is a really valuable asset that they can then replicate but also sustain over time.
It created for me a safe environment where I could show also my vulnerability, my insights, openly shared with the others. And what I found particularly interesting in it was the dialogues with the other partners.
I wouldn't have thought I'd be able to create trust with people that I just met. And that experience made me think about other possibilities for me and my team.
I'll give you a very concrete example of how performance conversations that I was honestly dreading went very differently because I re-practiced, re-energized on how do you have a difficult conversation. Here was somebody deeply valued, and I was actually reinforcing the problem. By avoidance of what I considered difficult behavior, by not taking it on, I was actually creating more of a behavioral problem because her reaction to the situation was fight. So she was fighting everybody around her, including me, which led me to avoidance, which reinforced her behavior. And I finally sat down and I realized I was just going to I was going to reframe my approach and start from a point of view of appreciation. And we came out of the conversation a very different place than we would have. From fight, it went to partnership.
I've become much more aware of the impact I have as a leader in terms of how I communicate and how I come across. I've also become more aware and maybe more congruent is the word I want to use in terms of what my personal beliefs are along with my professional beliefs.
In 5 days, this covers a tremendous amount of ground. It's deep where it needs to be deep. It's really terrific. I mean, it does some of what we're doing in 4 years in 5 days.
I work with a lot of senior leaders, and it's helping them become better leaders just by the practices that I'm bringing back to the organization.
The engagement isn't worth much if we can't implement it. And coming to this program gives us the practical tools for understanding how to dismantle the human barriers that exist between your current reality and what you want to achieve.